You're listening to the Visionary Lifestyle Podcast, the show that's dedicated to raising consciousness and empowering you to activate your highest potential. I'm your host, Magda Freedom Rod. Greetings, Rainbow Warriors. Bienvenue from France. I've just left Auvergne, where I was immersed for over 3 weeks in a 6,000-acre forest, leading a wilderness wellness experience at a 300-year-old ecolodge. This area is known as, in addition to being the green heart of France, it's the land of the volcanos and is so rich with prana, delicious spring water, and deep wilderness as far as the eye can see. This experience brought me a deep connection with nature and so many unexpected blessings, including meeting today's guest, Julien Peron. Julien is a filmmaker among many other things. Using his values such as self-awareness, curiosity, and open-mindedness since childhood, this 39-year-old entrepreneur has nurtured and molded these qualities from a young age, and he respects others and the environment. In his childhood, Julien played sports and became interested in astrology and the tarot. He developed his strengths in martial arts for more than 14 years, with Kung Fu pushing his passion very far to become champion of France in 1999. Then, with the encouragement of his family, at the age of 12, he went to the United States for a month and immersed himself in a Wisconsin family. Today, he puts his pocket money aside to go regularly with his backpack to discover other countries and other cultures. His explorations of the surrounding world lead to more inward explorations, nourished by a lot of reading and other discoveries, including aspects of human psychology, well-being, personal development, and alternative medicine, as well as economics, politics, and sociology. Julien has been in the fields of well-being, ecology, marketing, and communication for 16 years. He's an honorary member of the World League for the Right to Happiness. He's the member of the Development Council of the city of Montpellier, where he's from. He's an international speaker, and he's the creator of the School of Life and the annual festival for the School of Life. He's the creator of the first Congress Innovation in Education and the director and producer of the documentary, What is Happiness for You? He's the creator and leader of cycling, yoga, and meditation trips. And he's the creator of interprofessional meetings of well-being since 2003. He has a CCP in permaculture. And he's the founding president since 2003 of the companies Neo Banetra and Neo Horizons. He's a member of the World Association of Tourism Experts and a member of the Parliament of Entrepreneurs of the Future. He's also a member of Eco-Responsible Travelers and Tour Operators, and a partner of the Good Planet Foundation and the French Ecotourism Association. Woo! You getting a sense of who this guy is? I met Julien at the Instant Absolute Ecolodge in France, where I've just been teaching yoga, and he came to screen his film, C'est quoi le bonheur pour vous? Or What is Happiness for You? I found myself instantly uplifted just by the title of his film, and over the following days found this question having a lasting impact in my mind. As I was teaching a yoga class the next morning with Julien in attendance, I had the idea to invite him for this interview to dive deeper into his film and this important question. Through this conversation, I learned that Julien has a second film almost completed and a big goal to build a school. It's not just any school he wants to build, but a school of life. This is for parents, students, and teachers to learn the alternative education that is missing in most schools and the part that our societies so sorely need in order to find that happiness we're always talking about. I hope you enjoy this conversation and find some inspiration and tools here to support you on your happiness journey. Check the show notes for a trailer of the film and links on how to see it, as well as Julien's other projects. Enjoy and namaste. Julien Peron, bienvenue à le show.
Merci.
so nice to be sitting with you here. We're in Auvergne, France, at the Instant d'Absolu ecolodge. It's such a gift, surprise gift to meet you here, and getting to see the screening of your film. And tell us, what is the title of the film?
What is happiness for you?
Right, so it's an exploration of what happiness is to each person individually, right? And what a wonderful topic. The world needs more happiness and more focus on happiness, and I'm so happy to meet you and to learn about your film and your journey. So you went around the world, right? Will you tell us more about the film, please?
Yeah, I'm going to try because my English is not very
right.
Very good.
And if you don't know the right word, hopefully I know it in French, and together we can make this happen.
Okay. So yes, I travel all the world, but since I was a small children, like 22, no, not 22, 12 years old.
A little boy.
Yeah, a little boy. So it's been a long time now. I have 39.
You're 39 years old now. Yeah.
And since 4 years ago, I don't know why, I was in Montreal, in Canada, for a reason, because I have an agency, a communication agency, and we was create something like a show for therapists and professionals in well-being. And I was in this à l'époque.
At the time.
At the time, I don't know Montreal in Canada, so I want to discover the Canada. And when I travel, I sleep in the people, in the house people, not in the hotel.
Yeah.
I meet people, so we talk. Maybe if he wants,
you become friends, and they invite you to stay in their home.
And one day, it was in December. There was a lot of snow, tempête. I don't know the term in English. Big tempête, big storm.
Okay.
Yeah, in December. Moins 36 degrés.
36 degrees below zero.
Yeah.
But that's Celsius or Fahrenheit?
Celsius.
Yeah, so in Fahrenheit it's I'm not sure what that is. Okay.
It's big.
Yeah, it's very, very cold.
Yeah. So we talk about all the day about a lot of things, and one time we talk about happiness, and my smartphone was on the table, and I don't know why I proposed to the person to make a film when she said the definition of happiness. And the night when I come in my room, I showed this movie.
Little video, yeah.
And it was very beautiful for me. It was like a déclic. Like I say in myself, "Wow, it's a good idea." So in this month in Canada, I met a lot of people, and when I met people, I tell him, "What is happiness for you?" And I make the movie.
Wow.
And it continue, 4 years all over the world. Yeah.
Okay.
So many people, 1500 personnes.
1,500.
Yeah.
Okay.
People.
Interviews.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Écrivain. People writer. Yeah. Philosophe. Spiritual master, people, people, many people, and
toujours la même question. Always the same question.
Always the same question.
What is happiness for you?
Yeah. And between of that, I say in myself, we are 7 billion people, and there is 7 billion definition. This is a big question. This is not not This is. We talk about a lot of things. When we think about happiness, we talk about a lot of things. We take the time. And for me, I saw that so many people don't take the time to think about that. And I want that just people take the time to think about that.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Yeah, perfect. Because once you define what happiness is for you, you can give that more of your attention, right?
Yes,
And
yes.
grow it.
Yeah.
Perfect. Because as we say, where attention goes, energy flows. So if you put your attention on what brings you more happiness, then you can, there's more attention there, right?
Yeah.
And you can do more of that. Figure out what your answer is to that question and do more of that, right?
Yeah. And take the decision to go in this direction of happiness. Because for me, this is a choice. We whole day have the choice to go to the direction of happiness. Our life, it's question of choice. And I think that happiness is the same. So if we want to think more positive, if we want to eat more potential well-being for us, it's question of choice. We have the choice.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's very important to think about that and take the time to think about that. We are in a society who maybe we think that we don't have the time because we have a lot of things to do. There is the work, there is our children, there is a lot of things to say, no, I don't have the time to think about me. But 10 minutes per day, it's nothing. To make meditation, to make yoga, to eat more wellness, more well-being. More healthy for us. It's possible. And think about the question of happiness. It's think about if I'm okay with my life, if I'm okay with my husband, with my work, with a lot of things. I understand that maybe it's difficult for people to say, okay, I do nothing just for me, like meditation. More people they say that de m'asseoir et de ne que penser, d'arrêter de penser, c'est difficile.
To stop to think, to stop the mind from thinking is difficult.
Yeah. So I understand that, but if we don't try, we never know.
Right.
So this is the question of, in French, we say, une question de pas. On fait le premier pas. The first step.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big question, happiness.
It's the first step is to turn your attention towards that question and find that answer and then move in that direction with the next step, right? And it's very interesting to me that you just said the three things that I focus on. Meditation, yoga, and the healthy eating, right? And I derive from what you said and the way that you said it, that those are things that lead to happiness, that contribute to happiness. Do you agree? Did I get that correctly?
Yeah. There's a lot of things. Cultivate our thinking. Just to say that, okay, if I want to think positive, I can do it. This is just a question of choice. This is an example to maybe to go to the direction of happiness. But yes, there is eating, sleeping. Good sleeping is very important. People around us.
The people we surround ourselves with.
Yeah, positive people.
People that lift us up, not people that put us down, right?
Yeah, of course. Maybe don't see TV.
Yeah, I'd say definitely. Don't watch television if you want to be happy.
Radio, there is some kind of radio. This is the message. It could be negative. Nature is the base en français.
The base.
Yeah, the base. Yeah.
Of happiness?
I don't know if it's the base of happiness, but I think
base of what?
The base for human people. Yeah. We are in a place
right now.
Yeah,
we're in pristine nature.
It's just perfect for energy. Just the place is just perfect for us. It's like eating, you know. And
it's nourishment.
Yeah.
The earth is nourishment. Nature is nourishment because there's so many more kinds of food than just the one we put in our mouth.
Yep.
Right. there's all these things that you're talking about, the environment that we're in, the people that we surround ourselves with, the relationships. All of this is nourishment. All of this is another kind of food.
Yeah. And it's like forest, mountain, lake, all the nature. It's very important for the equilibrium.
Yeah, the balance.
A balance for people. Yeah, for human people.
Yeah, to be in nature. It's so important. I can tell you that the last couple days, I've been here just over a week now in this amazing location, and I've been walking barefoot in the forest for a couple of hours. A couple of times I took some walks and, sitting in the sunshine and meditating. And I tell you, by the time I'm on my way back, I'm like exploding with happiness. Connecting the feet with the earth and intentionally and consciously, and just connecting with all the nature and listening to the sounds of the birds singing and looking at the flowers. But really, there's something about the connection of the feet with the earth. And here, the earth is so special. It's very soft and it's so very nourishing. But I really highly recommend people get out into nature as often as possible, right? And take the shoes off.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And we can make a hug for a tree.
Hug a tree for happiness.
Yeah.
Yes, tree huggers unite.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
Maybe it probably be curious for people, but just try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give it a try.
Yeah.
Connect with the tree. Breathe. Connect your energy with the energy of the tree. Absolutely. I'm a big believer in tree hugging. Thank you for bringing that up, of course.
Maybe just alone, if you are...
If you're worried someone's going to see you and think you're weird, go into the forest by yourself.
Alone,
Just but you and the tree.
It's so good. It's so... we have to try. Yeah.
So you've interviewed 1,500 people on this subject, and many of them being experts in well-being, right? So what would you say is the biggest thing that you learned about happiness?
It's a good question. The biggest... there is... I'm going to say in French. Il y a une personne sur 4 qui est incapable de me dire ce que c'est le bonheur pour lui.
There's 1 in 4 people that cannot say what happiness is for them.
Yeah.
C'est ça?
Yeah. And for me, it's very important to see that.
They're disconnected.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think about that, and my point of view, it's like we are in the society who make a lot of things to disconnect us for the nature, for us, just for us, for the people. There is a lot of things for that. So take the time for us. It's very difficult in our society. And I think it's there is a reason, I don't know why, but there is some reason. So to observe that and see that we are in a system we don't have the time to just for us. Maybe it's the first step to go to the direction of happiness.
Go to the what?
To the happiness.
Go straight to happiness?
Maybe it's the first step. Because just to see that television is not good for us, maybe it's just one step, see that nature is good for us.
Less television, more nature.
Yeah. So, but I think it is very difficult for a lot of people just to see that and to say that, okay, I'm okay with that. Okay, but I'm going to try to make other things good for me. It's not very easy, but it's possible. We can make it.
Yeah. One of my favorite techniques that I learned somewhere along the way at some workshop at some place someday. I don't even really remember exactly where I picked it up, but this little technique of when you have a thought that's negative, and as soon as you catch that, you just say cancel, cancel.
Okay.
C'est comme oublier, oublier. Just cancel.
Okay.
Immediately, just cancel. Okay, take that one out, and let's turn the focus back to the positive thoughts.
Yeah.
Right? And if that's difficult, you can even have, make your little list of your positive thoughts, because sometimes if you get lost in the negative thoughts, it's a little bit like a hole that you fall into and it's difficult to climb out. But you have your little cheat sheet, your little paper that you've already written down of positive thoughts to turn your mind to when you get into more of a negative space, right? I like to give people as many practical tools as possible, right? To move towards happiness and more well-being and more health. You know, we had a little dinner here the other night, a happiness dinner. And, you know, we went around the table with everyone talking about their definition of happiness. And I really appreciate the question too. You know, I've been really meditating on it quite a bit. And it's been a beautiful journey just in the last few days with this question rolling around in my mind and reflecting on that and noticing when there is something that brings me happiness, you know. Eye gazing, you know, with someone that I care about, you know, that brings me happiness. Walking, you know, barefoot in the forest, that brings me happiness. Like, and really, you know, noticing that and studying that and doing more of that. And also teaching yoga is something that really brings me so much happiness.
Of course, yeah.
Because I know it brings more happiness to other people, right? So it's just like, it completely just keeps exaggerating and multiplying the happiness, right?
It's the first objective of the movie, to think about this question, this fundamental question. Yeah.
Just to get people thinking about that. And maybe it takes, you know, 1 in 4 people, it takes them a long time to arrive at the answer. Yeah, but that's great, just to get people thinking about that. And then it's interesting. I mean, I think it's, maybe the answer is somewhat obvious, but like, why are people so unhappy? I mean, in certain cases it's more obvious than others. You know, if your immediate needs for survival are not met, I think it's difficult to find happiness, right? But in our developed Western world especially, where all your physical needs are met, you have more money in the bank than you can spend in your lifetime, and you're still not happy. What's the reason for that? What's the problem?
Yeah. It's a good question. Yeah. Because society, la société nous fait croire que parce qu'on possède, on va être heureux.
Yeah, society doesn't know what... but here we go. A little bit of French. This is a Franglish episode of the podcast, peeps. But people are looking for what that is, right? People are looking for that answer. Why am I not happy? And I mean, so far we've already given lots of reasons or lots of ways to find the happiness: the yoga, the meditation, the conscious eating, the healthy eating, connecting with nature, right? These are all sports, things that get your body moving, get your energy moving, get you out of your head, right?
People around you, the place where you live. It's very important. Now I'm talking about energy. And here we are now. There's a lot of energy, good energy.
In this beautiful place next to a lake in the forest. We're in the middle of a 6,000 acre forest. I mean, it's very hard to complain here for sure.
So, okay, all the people can't have a house here, of course. But I think there is a place for us, you know. I talk about energy.
Yes.
Maybe it's good for me here, but not for you. You understand?
Yeah, it's different for each person, each place.
Yeah. And we have to be careful about that.
To pay attention.
Yeah. Si ce n'est pas fluide.
Yeah, if we're not fluid, or if it doesn't flow.
Yeah, there is a reason. And maybe it's the place where I am. So I can just jump in other city, and it's good for me.
Yeah,
you know. And we have to make attention about that.
Really, to pay attention about your energy and where you are. Yeah, I agree. I can tell you, I've figured out that I'm French in a past life, because when I land in France, it's a very remarkable sensation. Well, my energy is good here. I am good in France. I love France because, you know, for so many reasons, but my energy feels really good here. You know, ça sentir comme chez moi. It feels like, you know, my home. The energy feels good. And there are places I've been which I'm not going to knock anybody, so I'm not going to say where, but there are places I go where I'm like, nope, this is not my place. And part of my travels around the world is to figure out where I feel good.
It's important.
Yeah, it's really important. So that's something for people to look at. You know, if you've never felt good in the place that you're at, maybe, you know, take a trip, try another place and see how you feel there.
I think that the life, la vie doit être fluide.
The life of that's flowing. Can we say that?
And if it's not flowing, there is a reason. Maybe it is us, but maybe it is the environment or the place where I live. So yes, it's a good idea to take a trip and see that maybe there is a town in 10 meters. You know, this is good for me.
Right. Yeah, because we know about. I imagine you're familiar with the ley lines of the planet. Do you know about the ley lines? The lines of energy around the planet, right? And there's many sacred sites that have been built on like the intersection points of the ley lines and things. So that's something interesting. There's also something that I found interesting, and I actually have an interview about this coming up in the next season, that you can get a cartography reading. It's like astrology, but for where your location is in the world, and figure out where your lines fall and figure out where might be the best place for you to be energetically.
I don't know that.
Yeah, cartography.
Yeah,
I have an interview coming up that I did in Lisbon.
This is not vortex. This is another thing.
Yeah, it's cartography. It's the astrology for where your energy is the strongest. You know, and for different aspects, for personal relationships, for professional work, and different aspects. But it's an interesting place to start if people are going, well, I really don't know where I belong. I don't know where I should be. Could be an interesting place to start and get a cartography reading and see where your lines are, and you know, maybe get a clue and go check that out and see how that feels. And maybe there's truth to it, maybe there's not. But it's a good starting point if you really don't know. But like we talked about a little bit earlier this morning, like you said, you haven't been to India yet, and I was saying, well, it's nice when, you know, we wait for the place to call us, right? For the energy, like maybe you're not ready for India, and that when you're ready, India will call you. And then you go. And maybe that changes in the life. But I'm definitely noticing in my life, in my world travels that I'm doing now, there are places that really strongly call me. And then I go there to explore, why? You know, like next I'm going to Provence, and I spent only 2 days there last summer, but for 20, 30 years, Provence has been calling me. I have no idea why. I'm very excited to go on this journey and figure it out. Like, what's going on in Provence? There's something there for me. Maybe that's where I lived in my last life. I don't know. But it's tuning in, and it's being quiet and still enough with the meditation and the presence to tune into where those signals are and where they're coming from, and to tune into it, and then have the courage to follow it.
Yeah, of course.
Right? Especially if you're just sitting in your life unhappy. Right?
Yeah.
If everything's great, no need to go anywhere. Right? But if you're feeling that you're not totally in alignment and you're not totally living your purpose and that there's more for you, you know, this is maybe something to look at.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
For me, it was Japan in December, last December, 1 month.
Yeah.
And it was so magic for my soul. Wow. I don't have the term in English. It was very, very so magic.
What happened there? Did you meet people like it was just synchronicity everywhere, or was it just meditating with the land? Or?
Yeah, with the land. I don't know, but maybe kind of my soul is Japanese. You know, it's very curious. Because when I was there, je reconnaissais tout.
Yeah, you knew everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it's familiar.
Yeah. And part of me always say thank you so much, thank you so much. And I was pleurer.
Yeah, crying with tears of gratitude.
With gratitude.
Yeah.
A lot of things. Wow, so much time. It was very curious for me. And so powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And there is not a lot of country for people which is like that.
Yeah.
You know, I think there is. I see a lot of country in the world, and for me it was Japan. Now in December, it was very, very powerful. There is a lot of place which is beautiful. We say, okay, I'm okay here. My soul is okay here.
Yeah, my soul is at peace here and connected and.
But like for me, Japanese, it's very
that's
particular.
Yeah. In particular, Japan.
Yeah.
That's one of your places then.
Yeah.
How did you find the language? Did the language come easily for you?
No, it's
Not
difficult.
so much.
Yeah. They don't speak English. Yeah, so this is difficult to make a conversation.
Yeah.
So it was good for me because always in my work I have to talk, you know. So now one mouth I don't talk. It was very good for me.
Yeah.
Just observation.
Right.
In nature. It was
and
perfect.
connecting on other levels.
Yeah,
because
of course,
actually communication, 90% of communication is nonverbal. So it's the way we look, it's the way we move, it's the way we touch each other, you know. It's the energy.
Yeah.
So much of our communication is energy. So really only 10% you need words. You can still communicate quite a lot without the words, right?
Yeah.
But I was just curious how the language was for you, because when I came to France the first time, France was always, like I said, Provence was calling me, but also Paris, just for whatever reason. When I first landed in France, I had that great feeling of, yes. My soul was just so much yes. You know, it just feels so good. And then I learned the language quite quickly.
Yeah, you speak very well.
Well,
yeah.
ça arrive. I speak better than I understand, as I told you in the yoga class this morning. So I can ask a question, but when somebody answers, I'm a bit confused.
Oh, it's like me in English, you know.
Yeah. But it's like this. But the thing is that I learned it quite quickly. It made sense to me quite quickly, which led me to believe even more, you know, for sure I'm French in a past life. And this idea just, and I say that because the energy is just so familiar, like you're saying in Japan for you. Yeah, it's interesting. We all have, you know, we're all unique, 7 billion people. We have our unique ideas of happiness. We have our unique places in the world where our energy is really in resonance with that place, right? So yeah, I love this conversation.
If there is a recommendation, we can say that to encourage people to travel. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
I
very
agree.
important. Yeah, it's like school of life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we don't have to have much money to travel, because many people say,
talk about that a bit, because that's the number one excuse for people. Oh, I can't afford to do that.
No.
But how do we get around that? What's the answer?
The answer is not big hotel, just to
Couch surfing.
Couch surfing, yeah. You know, when I go to the country, I make just the reservation when I arrive, just because
just one place to sleep the day you arrive.
Yeah, and then it's just meet people.
Make friends really fast.
Yeah,
that's so great.
So there is you don't need money for that. And now there is Airbnb. Airbnb it's quite cheap.
Yeah, it's less expensive than the big hotels, for sure.
Yeah, of course. And when you travel, you can. I make a lot of bicycle, and if there is no bicycle, I walk, or I take a train, or take a bus. There is
public transportation rather than renting a car or whatever. Yeah,
it's not expensive. And when you go in Asia or South America, it's very cheap to eat.
Yeah, so you can live on like $10 a day, and in India and in Bali as well.
It depends. Depends the way you travel, but there is possibility to travel with not much money.
Yeah. But I absolutely agree. Encouraging people to travel, to find their place, and just for the personal development that arrives from just meeting new people. And I've been really enjoying traveling alone because I meet so many more people.
It's the perfect way.
Yeah, solo travel is really, it's been a huge part of my journey, and you know, it's such a blessing, really. I do want to encourage people to travel.
You're connecting with you, you're connecting with the environment, connecting with the people. It's not the same when you travel with a people, with a friend or your wife.
Yeah.
It's good. It's a good trip, but
Yeah.
it's not the same.
Yeah.
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 And I think if I have to choose, I prefer to travel alone. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, for this reason, right?
Yeah, for the connecting. Yeah.
Yeah. The more connected we are, I think the more happy we are, right? Connected with the self, with
Maybe.
the earth, with each
Yeah.
other, right? All these
Maybe.
things that happen on a more often on a more profound level when we're traveling.
We
Yeah.
learn a lot of things.
Yeah.
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 School of life.
School of life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about your school, your dream for
Yeah.
your school,
Yeah,
actually
okay.
moving into, because, you know, there's a lot of attention on the problems in the world, right? And not enough attention on the solutions. So, from what I'm learning about you, one of the solutions is education,
Yeah.
right?
I think it's the solution.
Oh, the solution. Okay,
yeah.
tell us more.
Tout par de là.
Tu parles de là?
Ouais.
Everything
yeah.
is there?
Yeah,
No.
everything is education.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, you know.
Everything is education.
Yeah. If we want a better world,
Oh,
it starts.
everything starts there.
Yeah.
That's what you said.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. In everywhere in the world, the education in school, the education, our parents, everything starts about education. So I see all over the world that education it's not a problem, but we have to think differently. Education in States too, in Europe, in Asia, in South America, everywhere. And there is some people, some professionals, some des outils.
Students?
No, like the idea.
Okay.
Alternative. Very good. And there is lot of professional who can help us, help parents, help children, help teacher, differently like the traditional education.
So alternative education specifically.
Yeah. This is not hippie education.
It's not hippie education. What's wrong with hippies? Wait a minute. I'm from California.
No, this is a joke. You know?
I know. Same black.
This is a very good.
Backed by science and right?
Yeah. But TV don't talk about that. Many people don't know this professional.
So, for example, like what is an example of alternative education?
Alors, in France, we say communication non violente.
Non-violent communication.
Yeah. And there is a lot of professionals who make that for teacher.
Yeah.
for
Yes,
parents.
please. More of this.
Yeah.
Encore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In French, psychological, positive psychological.
Positive psychology.
Yeah. A lot of things. We can make yoga in school.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Meditation.
Okay.
Just 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Yeah, a little 5-minute practice in presence at the beginning of a school day could change everything, huh?
Yeah, of course. For adults too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for everyone, for tout le monde.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In French, we say sophrology.
Sophrology.
Yeah.
Yes, sophrology. I'm learning more about this.
Okay.
Tell us more about that.
But it's like relaxation, you know. I don't know the term in English. En français, on dit des outils, des techniques.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, wait.
Lot
Okay.
of technique for relaxation. Yeah. But very lot of things. I don't remember all the term, but there is a lot of professional and a lot of techniques.
So when you're talking about alternative education, these are the things these are the methods that you're talking about. It's not studying the traditional subjects. It's not a school that's teaching the traditional subjects. It's teaching all these alternative forms of really self-discovery, development, personal development.
Yeah, it's the base. Yeah, it's the base. I think that we don't learn this. We don't learn to know who I am.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And this is the base.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe my parents it's a lawyer, but I don't want to be a lawyer. Maybe I like the wood, you know. And the society make that if my parents is lawyer, I'm going to be a lawyer. No, it's not a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, we have to learn who I am.
To know ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's very
Yeah.
important. We are all different. We are all so much quality, but different quality.
Right. Qualities. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is complémentaire.
Complementary.
Yeah. And this is so beautiful to know that we are all complementary with so much potential.
Yes.
Yeah.
Infinite potential.
Yeah. And so maybe it's le devoir, the way of school to learn that,
The purpose. Yeah.
Yeah, de nous accompagner,
To accompany us. Yeah. To
Yeah.
guide us.
to guide us
To guide us.
in
Yeah.
this direction. Yeah. And
Towards our true self.
Yeah.
So that we can discover our true self and live
Yeah.
our best life that's really for us specifically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, not the life that somebody else wants to give us, but the one that we came here really to
Yeah.
live. Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah. And maybe after that, we're going to create a work good for us, but
Yeah.
good for people.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
good for the nature, good for the planet,
Yes.
because we know who we are.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what you're talking about with that is right livelihood. You're familiar with this term?
No.
Right livelihood. In je commence pas le dire. Je sais pas le mot en français. I don't know the words in French, but what it means is that whatever you do for a living to earn your money, it's something that's benefiting not just you,
Yeah.
but also the other people on
Yeah.
the planet. This
Yeah.
is what you're
Yeah.
talking about. Yes,
Yeah.
and we always want to be encouraging people to think this way, especially when it comes to business, right? So
Yeah.
it's not just a single bottom line business that's built on greed, where how much can I get for myself?
Yeah.
But another term is triple bottom line business, the equal importance to people, planet, and profit.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
that's a sustainable business. That,
Yeah.
and taking it a step further into right livelihood, that whatever you do, have it be of service also to the world, or maybe a specific group of people, or something that's helpful, that's benefiting more than just you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's other base.
yeah,
Yeah.
other beings. And then
Right.
when you know yourself well and you're connected with yourself, you can find what that is
Yeah.
more
of course.
easily,
Yeah.
right?
Of course. Yeah.
And then live the life that you are meant to live. Yeah, so you want to build this school, so it's to educate children,
Children.
parents, and teachers.
And teachers too. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know who in California, you think it's a good idea to make a change of education, or you think it's good education
Well,
globally?
okay, that's a big conversation, but from what I've witnessed, the education system needs a lot of improvement, everywhere,
okay,
right?
okay.
And the more of this alternative education, and now understanding what you mean by that, like all these practices to really come to the self, right? To discover the self truly and connect with the self, anything that supports that, for sure we need more of.
Okay.
I mean, California is this kind of bubble in the universe where there's a lot of consciousness that's already higher. I think this is why you see, vegan, vegetarian, organic stuff everywhere, and well-being centers and meditation centers. There's something about California that's very progressive.
Yeah.
And it's a great place for a school like that. But we also need these things in places where we're not, in English we say preaching to the choir, right?
Okay.
We don't go to the people that are already doing it and say, here's some more. Your plate is already full of this, have some more. We need to go into the communities where it's not at all in the consciousness as
okay.
well, right?
Okay.
To grow it.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
But I mean, certainly you can have like the foundation, the base of the school in California, and then maybe with the intention of, branching out into other locations. And I could see cultivating teams of people to figure out where do we need more consciousness, and where can we go bring this alternative education to help the people and uplift consciousness. And the tricky thing about that is I can speak in testimony from the work that I've been trying to do with conscious eating and yoga and meditation. It helps if the door is open a little bit. for people to listen, right? If
Okay.
you go to a brick wall and you're knocking, it's not going to open, right? But if you go and the door is just a little bit open, perhaps you can start, just putting your mouth at the door and saying, bonjour, hello, I'm here. I have a gift for you. Would you like to see it? Would you like to hear it? And then maybe they open the door a little bit more and they listen. And a technique that I found, this is letting the cat out of the bag here, is to sell people what they want and then give them what they need. So sometimes packaging it in a way, like for example, would be like, yoga, like here's a lose weight fitness retreat, come to this. But then really when they show up, you teach them the true yoga, which is this is not about going on a diet and only eating vegetables and just eating 200 calories a day so you lose weight. It's not that program. Actually, it's about really connecting with yourself and learning to be still enough to listen, and all of these things. So yeah, there's a couple of different ways to look at it, but for sure I would agree that people need to be more connected with their happiness, and that a good way for people to get there is through this alternative education that you're talking about. The world certainly needs more of that.
Did you try learn yoga in school?
I didn't learn yoga in school.
No. Okay.
No, I learned yoga when I was pregnant.
Okay.
I was 30 years old when I started.
Okay.
But I love teaching in school. Here I had 2 students yesterday, both 12 years old, their first yoga class ever. For me, ça c'est le bonheur. That is super happiness. Like, yes, give me a chance to plant some seeds in these young minds about possibilities that they may not have known existed. And hopefully with the right condition, that seed sprouts. But yes, yoga in schools, meditation in schools. I mean, there's so much science showing, right, when you put a meditation program in a school, how the children improve. I know several people working in this way, other yoga teachers who are really focused on that. And they have the measurable results, and it's so inspiring to witness that.
So evidence. Evidence.
In French and English, there's so many words that are the same, and it's only the pronunciation. So for those of you who think you don't know French, you know so many words in French. That's what I found out when I came. That's one of them, evidence. It's the same word. But yeah, there's evidence, and there's so many scientific studies, and there's plenty of evidence that these techniques are beneficial. So the more the better. Absolutely. So yes, I support you in developing the school in any way I can support you with that. Please let me know.
In France, there are 1000 écoles.
1,000 schools?
1,000 schools like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
With alternative education?
Yeah.
Is it in with the traditional education?
Not
or
traditional.
Just a completely separate school?
Completely. Yeah.
So that's in addition to the traditional education or in the place of?
This is private and this is alternative. So this is not il n'y a pas de lien avec l'éducation nationale.
Yeah, it's not in the national education, it's private, 1,000 schools like that in France.
Yeah,
okay.
We create a network. In France, the name is le réseau des écoles alternatives, the network of alternative schools.
Perfect.
Yeah, and there is a map, a Google map, where we see all the schools.
You made this network?
Yeah.
That's one of your websites.
You go on Google and say,
we'll put it in the show notes. You guys don't have to try to figure it out in French. We'll put it in the show notes with links so you can go and visit that. Yeah, so you've already got that network of the 1,000 schools in France, so people can see that.
Yeah. And we want to create a link, in between all the schools. It's very important.
Yeah. The more people that are in this progressive mindset, the more we can all be connected, the more we can continue growing and amplifying these ideas and this energy, right? The consciousness, raising the consciousness together.
We have the power.
Right.
Yeah.
We have the power. Yeah, certainly. And then it's a matter of intention and willingness.
Yeah.
Right?
Of course, yeah.
So,
and choice.
Yeah, and choice. Yeah, that's the willingness comes with the choice there, for sure. So what's next for you? Is there another film?
Yeah.
I heard a little birdie talking about another film. I know nothing about it. So what's that?
Yeah, the name in English, it's School of Life. One generation to change.
Ah.
Yeah. And
en français, ça va.
Il sort en avant-première
Oh no, never mind. Something first, what? Dis ça plus lentement.
La première fois qu'on va le diffuser,
the first time
we put the movie.
To release the movie?
Yeah, to show the movie.
Yeah, okay.
It was in the festival in Montpellier.
Yeah, you have a festival every year in Montpellier in September. That's a festival of this kind of alternative education, right? Okay.
And so the first time when we can see the movie, it will be in the festival.
Oh, the new movie is already finished.
Not yet,
just about. But you'll be debuting it, screening it at the festival of Montpellier in September.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh wow! So it's almost done already. I thought maybe there was a second film just starting, but it's really almost finishing already. School of Life.
Something like 2 years to
School of
to
Life.
make the movie. Yeah.
Okay, and so is that focusing on all these modalities that we're discussing now?
Yeah.
Oh, so you've been doing research and interviewing people about these alternative
120
teachings.
people.
Oh.
Yeah. And this is maybe just 1% of all the people who exist just in France.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Because it's certainly growing, like globally. Do you see that? I mean, you've traveled the world talking about. I mean, what do you recognize? What do you witness as someone? I mean, it's your perfect person to ask about this. Interviewing 1,500 people about happiness all over the world. What do you see about this alternative, progressive mindset? How do you see it growing?
So huge.
Yeah.
So huge since, I create my old company. It was in 2003.
2003?
Yeah. So now it's 15 years old. Yeah. And at this time, when we just talk about well-being in company, people say, this is hippie.
Yeah, woo, foreign, not understanding at all. Yeah.
And now we talk yoga in company, you talk meditation in school and company.
Yeah.
And this is normal now. So this
big
is
change in just 15 years.
Just for that, this is big change in France. And around the world, I see and je rencontre, I meet people who change the world. We all have the potential to change the world. Yeah. So I always meet people like that. So for me, I'm just so positive,
Yeah.
I mean,
you're very optimistic after meeting all these people.
Yeah.
We have a chance as humanity. We're going to make it. You think?
Of course. Yeah. We are so much in the world to change just a little bit something, but we are very, very, very much people.
So many people.
So many people. So for me, I see we talk about paradigm. Yeah, we are changing.
We're shifting the paradigm.
Yeah. Maybe since 5 years. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'm a witness. Okay. I'm part of it. I'm doing what I can, what's in my power to help. What we're talking about really is raising the consciousness on the planet, right? Through these conversations, through these techniques, through these practices. The three, again, that I focus on: yoga, meditation, conscious eating, healthy eating. I think if everybody on the planet just practiced the three of those, even 5 minutes a day for each, it changes everything, because it changes inside, right? Because the world is the macrocosm. It's the reflection of the microcosm within us, right? So when we change ourselves, when we connect better to our true selves and live the life we're meant to live, and we're out of pain because we're taking care of our body, we're not focused on the illness and disease that comes when we don't take care of ourselves, when we're truly in our best health and connected to ourselves, the words that I use is it's activating your highest potential. And then that serves the world, right? And the high tide raises all boats, right? So when your own boat is nice and buoyant and floating on the top of the water, all the other ones can come up too.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Gandhi say, be the change you want to see in the world.
That's it.
Yeah.
Mais c'est ça.
Oui.
Well, that's a perfect place to end it. Take that lesson home with you. Be the change you wish to see in the world. Yeah. It's such a pleasure to meet you, Julien, and thank you so much for your film. It's really, I know, contributing so much good energy and helping to raise the consciousness on the planet. It's really the conscious media. It's such a powerful tool in this day and age. So it's really a huge contribution. And thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Thanks so much for answering the call to be here today. I'm so glad you're part of our tribe of activated rainbow warriors. If you found the show in any way empowering or inspiring, I would be so grateful if you would share the show on social media or with friends and family that you think would benefit from these conversations. And also, rate and review the show in iTunes. This is really the very best way to help support the show and help us get noticed by others who are looking for the sort of content that we're sharing. Now notice there are no outside ads playing here. That's because the show is supported by you, the listener. You can become a patron of the show with a small monthly donation by checking out the perks on our Patreon page at patreon.com/visionary lifestyle and signing up there. There's also a one-time donation button on the podcast page of the website if that suits you better. And just so you know, your donations help to cover the necessary out-of-pocket monthly expenses to produce the show and will also help us grow so we can inspire and educate even more people. And hey tribe, I'd love to hear from you. Visit me at visionary-lifestyle.com and please tell me your comments and questions. I really look forward to connecting with you. I love you. Namaste. Today's episode is brought to you by the Conscious Eating 101 e-course. This is a 6-week online course aimed at empowering you to make food choices that are in alignment with your values. The program is based on ahimsa, also known as non-harm, and helps you make every bite that you take an expression of love, self-love, animal love, and planet love. The course offers 15 lessons and 20 nutritious and delicious recipes and is offered over 6 weeks that you can do at your own pace. It includes lessons like plant-based nutrition, protein, dairy alternatives, the story on sugar, GMOs, label reading, and many more. If you're looking to increase your health and happiness, balance your weight, reduce your footprint on the planet, and align your food choices with your values, or are interested in being part of the solution to huge world problems like climate change, rainforest destruction, and world hunger, then this is the course for you. If this speaks to you, please check out consciouseating101.com today.